Hi everybody and welcome to this pre-match video for Mansfield v Walsall that's coming up this Saturday at the Field Mill. I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you very much for the view. If you're enjoying the content, please consider subscribing. Hit that notification button because that does let you know when I'm uploading videos, and give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. What's your opinions on Mansfield and Walsall? What do you think the score's going to be, and just any general information. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's get into the video. So the first thing I want to talk about is the history between Mansfield and Walsall. Mansfield first met Walsall back in 1926, believe it or not, in the FA Cup. Now, unfortunately, from Mansfield's perspective, we did lose that game 2-0. Over the years, we have actually met 63 times, of which Mansfield's won 20, Walsall's won 29, and we've drew 14 times. So yeah, there's a lot of history between the clubs, but what's the most important is more recently. So let's have a look back at last season. So last season, we played them twice, obviously, in the league. The first time we played them was at Walsall, and Mansfield lost 3-1. Now, this is when we were going through a bad spell. Mansfield, we didn't have a great start to last season. Injury bound, people being suspended, and Walsall beat us 3-1, like I said. Now, the two key notes to take from this, from me, is one of the signings was a bit of a panic signing, and it was Narty. He did let us down. I think he was injured at the time. He wasn't at full fitness. And he got took to the ground, and Walsall managed to score. And the other point I want to take is Danny Johnson. Danny Johnson scored for us against Walsall, and obviously the big news is that he is now on loan from Mansfield to Walsall, but we'll get onto that a little bit later on. So the next thing, the game at Field Mill. Mansfield played them and we beat Walsall 2-0 at the Field Mill. Both goals by Charlesley, and yeah, both goals leaving us a present just before he left us for Port Vale. But the less said about that, the better. Right, so let's talk a little bit more about Danny Johnson for Walsall. As it stands, he's on loan. Will that loan continue? We will probably end up selling him, I think, at the end of the season. That's what most people are expecting. We can't see him coming back. He is Walsall's top scorer with 9 goals. However, Mansfield's got the advantage because they won't be allowed to play him against Mansfield this Saturday. So if you're a Walsall fan, what's your opinions on that? Do you think it's going to affect the game? Right, with that said about Danny Johnson, let's look at the form and table positions of both teams. Mansfield are currently in 5th. We've played 12 matches, we've won 7, drew 2 and lost 3. We sit with 23 points. If we look at our form, we've won 3 and drew 2. If we go down to Walsall, Walsall are in 14th. They've played 13 matches, they've won 4, drew 4 and lost 5 with 16 points. If we look at their form, they currently have won 2, lost 2 and drew 1. Okay, something else that I want to discuss now as well is recent injuries for Mansfield. So we do seem to be picking up a few injuries again. However, the depth of the squad rarely comes into play compared to this time last season. I think we've definitely got a better, stronger squad, the 18 players. But at the minute, as it stands, Will Swan had a virus. That's the reason he didn't play in our last match. Hopefully he's now going to be match fit for the next game. Artigan, shoulder, still out long term. Gordon, I believe he pulled his groin. That's why he's not played the past couple of matches. Hopefully he's going to be back. And Wallace, head injury. That's why I didn't play the last game against Barra. But hopefully he'll be back as well. But unfortunately, against Barra, we did lose Maka. It looks like a knee injury, and it looks like he may be out for some time. I've heard 6 weeks. I don't know if that's true or not. This is what I've heard on the grapevine. Let us know if you'd heard anything. And also then we have got Maris and Harbottle both out with their ankle. So some players coming in, some players going out. Let's hope it's not going to make too much of a difference. I personally think we should be all right. Especially maybe Gordon, with Maka going out, it's probably a key time for Gordon to come back. But we don't want to be picking any more injuries up, that's for sure. So going into this game, if I've got to give a prediction, I'm feeling positive. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Mansfield win. I'm going to say the scorers are going to be Boateng. I like to see him score some of the goals that he's scored in the past, and that goal against Sheffield United in pre-season was phenomenal. I'd absolutely love to see something like that. And I'm going to go with Lapsley. Lapsley's on absolute fire at the moment. He's playing really well in that position he's doing at the moment, up front, you know, just behind the striker. It really suits him and he's looking really confident. So hopefully we can do that going forward. So yeah, that's my prediction, 2-0 for Mansfield. We are due a win at home, a couple of draws now. As form's dipped a little bit at home, not through the lack of, you know, playing badly. We played brilliantly against Hartlepool. We just let 2 sloppy goals in. And that's why I think that scrappy win away at Barry should really give us confidence. You know, it's been a few times recently in the past where we've played well, but either we've drawn or we've managed to lose, like for example against Orient back at their place a month or 2 ago. So with all that said and done, 2-0 win for Mansfield. Really confident, Lapsley and Boateng. Let's see if it comes to fruition. Right, one more thing I want to talk about as well. I was approached by somebody on Facebook, an anonymous person who doesn't want to be named, and they're doing a really kind thing for a kid at Christmas. So I'm just going to read this out for you now, and if you're interested, if you're a Stags fan, you're on all the many Stags groups, you can contact us on there. That's no problem. I've been asked to post the following by an anonymous person. Good evening everyone. We've never done something like this before. A few of us have clubbed together and we'd like to treat a young Stags fan for an extra special Christmas present. We are looking for a fan that hasn't had the best of years either in health or by losing someone close to them or other reasons. We will leave this up until the 14th of November because that gives us plenty of time to get a present sorted. Please put your nominations down below with your reasons or story or comment on the Stagsnet post. If any of you feel uncomfortable with sharing your story for others to read, then please message Luke who will pass it on to me. We would rather not be named because this isn't about us, this is about making somebody's Christmas special. Also a big thank you to Luke for posting this up the Stags. So I think that's a really kind thing for these guys to do. So if you're interested, if you know anybody, leave a comment on the Stags group, any of the Stags chats or Stags fans forums or followers, or contact me if you're friends with me on Facebook, and I can pass that message on. So with all said and done, I'm looking forward to this game. It's going to be great to be back at the Field Mill. It's an early kickoff, a 1 o'clock kickoff. What your opinions are on that. I am at work this Saturday, but I managed to cut it short and finish at 10 o'clock, so hopefully, well, I should be there on time. If you see me out and about, as always, come and get on the vlog, give us your score predictions. It's always great to speak to everybody, and with that, thank you very much, and come on you Stags.